$5,000 in 24 hours selling a simple digital product that Claude AI wrote for me in minutes. No physical inventory, no shipping, no complicated tech skills. Just a clear process that most people have never heard of, and once you see it laid out step by step, the whole thing makes complete sense. In this video, I am going to walk you through exactly how this works, from finding the right product idea all the way through to generating sales using a Facebook advertising strategy that most people never figure out on their own. Everything in plain, simple language. Let us get into it. Before we get into the actual steps, let us talk about why digital products make so much sense as a starting point for anyone trying to make money online with AI. When you sell a physical product, you deal with inventory costs, shipping delays, returns, storage, and supplier relationships. When you sell a digital product, none of that exists. You create it once. Every time someone buys it, you deliver it instantly at zero additional cost. Your profit margin on every sale is almost the entire sale price. There is no cap on how many you can sell in a day because there is nothing physical to run out of. For a single person using AI tools to build a business, this model is genuinely powerful. Claude AI can write the content. Free design tools handle the visual presentation. An online store handles the sales page. And paid advertising brings in the customers. The whole system can be set up in a day and run with minimal ongoing effort once it is working. The most common mistake people make when trying to sell anything online is choosing a product based on what they personally find interesting, rather than what other people are actively searching for and willing to pay to solve. The right approach is research first. You want to find topics where people are feeling real emotional pressure, problems that keep them up at night, frustrations that have been bothering them for months, situations where they desperately want a solution and would pay almost any reasonable price to find one. There are tools available that pull data from search engines, social platforms, and online communities to identify exactly what problems people are searching for solutions to right now. You plug in a broad category: parenting, health, relationships, finances, fitness, and the tool surfaces the specific emotional pain points that are generating the most search activity at this moment. This is critical because the product you create is not just information, it is the emotional relief that comes from finally having an answer to a problem that has been causing real stress. When you frame your product around that emotional outcome, rather than just the information inside it, people are far more motivated to buy. Once you have your topic, the actual product creation takes minutes rather than weeks. This is where Claude AI earns its place in the process. Take your topic, write a clear, detailed prompt describing the guide you want, and instruct Claude to write the complete content. Tell it the tone you want, the kind of practical, actionable advice it should include, and the length you are aiming for. Claude produces a complete, well-structured guide covering the topic from multiple angles, with real, usable advice throughout. This is not about cutting corners on quality. A well-prompted Claude output on a topic people genuinely care about produces content that is genuinely helpful. The goal is not to pad out pages with filler. The goal is to give someone a clear, practical resource that actually helps them move forward with a problem they have been struggling with. At a price point between $9 and $27, people are not expecting a life-changing encyclopedia. They are expecting something useful that saves them time figuring things out on their own. Claude delivers exactly that. Review everything that comes out. Make sure it actually addresses the core problem, that the advice is practical rather than vague, and that the tone matches the emotional state of your target buyer. Adjust anything that feels off. Then you have your product. A well-written guide presented poorly will not sell. The cover image, the layout, and the overall presentation signal quality to a potential buyer before they read a single word of the content. Fortunately, this does not require design skills or expensive software. Free design platforms allow you to build professional-looking PDF layouts by dragging and dropping your Claude-generated content into pre-built templates. The cover image comes from free copyright image libraries where you can find high-quality photos relevant to your topic at zero cost. Choose an image that immediately communicates the emotional benefit of the guide, not just the topic, but the feeling of having the problem solved. The title is also worth spending time on. A title that states the problem clearly and hints at the transformation available inside will consistently outperform a generic descriptive title. If your first attempt feels flat, ask Claude to rewrite it with more emotional impact and see what alternatives it suggests. The right title makes a significant difference to how many people click through to the sales page. Once the product is ready, it needs a home, a sales page that presents it professionally and converts visitors into buyers. A customizable online store platform is the right choice for this because it gives you full control over how your offer is presented. A generic marketplace might seem easier, but it comes with real drawbacks. Competing against established sellers with thousands of reviews makes it almost impossible for a new listing to gain visibility. And the inability to customize the presentation means you cannot create the specific experience that moves someone from interested to buying. Your own store gives you complete control. You set the design, the copy, the images, the price, and the checkout flow. Every element can be optimized to move a visitor toward a purchase. A well-built sales page for a $9 to $27 digital product can achieve a conversion rate well above the industry average because the price is low enough that the barrier to purchase is minimal and the emotional relevance of the offer is high. Before spending anything on paid advertising, the smart move is to drive warm traffic first. Warm traffic means people who are already engaged with content in your niche are already interested in the topic your product addresses. YouTube content creators who already have an established audience in your niche are ideal for this. Their viewers watch long-form video content, which means they spend significant time with the creator and develop a level of trust that short-form social media simply cannot replicate. When a trusted creator mentions your product, their audience is far more likely to click through and buy than a cold audience who has never heard of you. Reaching out to relevant creators with a clear, straightforward proposal, a flat fee plus a percentage of sales, can get your product in front of thousands of genuinely interested potential buyers quickly. The traffic this generates is not just valuable for the immediate sales, it is also building something more powerful in the background. Here is where the approach becomes genuinely sophisticated and where the big numbers start to happen. Every visitor who comes to your store through the influencer campaign gets tracked by a small piece of code installed on your website. This code records every action who visited, who viewed the product, who added it to their cart, and who bought. Over time, this builds a detailed data set of exactly what kind of person buys your product. Facebook's advertising platform can take that dataset and use it to find millions of other people across the platform who share the same characteristics, behaviors, and interests as your buyers. Instead of showing your ads to random people and hoping for the best, you are showing your ads to people who statistically look almost identical to the people who have already bought from you. This is called a lookalike audience, and it is what separates campaigns that break even from campaigns that generate significant returns. The influencer campaign does two things simultaneously. It generates initial sales, and it builds the data set that makes your paid advertising dramatically more effective. Once your pixel has collected enough data from the influencer traffic, the paid ad campaign launches targeting your lookalike audiences. You are not targeting broad interest categories or guessing at demographics. You are targeting people who Facebook has identified as being similar to your actual buyers. This precision is what drives a high conversion rate. When the right person sees the right ad for the right product at the right price, the decision to buy is fast and easy. At under $30 for a solution to a real ongoing problem, the mental barrier to purchase is low. The emotional motivation to buy is high, and the ad is reaching people already predisposed to be interested. The key is starting with a clear ad creative that speaks directly to the emotional pain point your product addresses. Not a generic description of what the guide contains, but a direct acknowledgement of the frustration the buyer is feeling and a promise of relief. That emotional connection in the first few seconds of an ad is what stops someone scrolling and makes them click. The full process, from finding your product idea to making sales through paid advertising, is genuinely achievable for anyone willing to follow each step carefully. Claude AI handles the content creation. Free tools handle the design. Your store handles the sales. The influencer campaign builds your data, and the Facebook lookalike strategy scales everything. Start this week. Pick a niche you understand. Research what problems people in that niche are actively searching for solutions to. Write a prompt for Claude and see what it produces. The first product takes the longest. Everything after that gets faster and more refined. And if you want to see every possible way to generate income using AI tools right now, in the next video, I am covering the only 14 ways to make real money with AI in 2026. Not theory, not hype. 14 specific methods that are working right now, with real examples of each one. Click the next video, and I will see you there. If this gave you something valuable, leave a comment telling me the one thing you're committing to change about how you use AI. I want to hear it. And if you want to go even deeper, stick around.